This is the Action Movie Guys podcast, bringing you action movie reviews from across the decades, plus box office numbers and insight like never before. And now, your hosts of the Action Movie Guys podcast, Alex and Nate.
Welcome, everyone, to a brand new episode of the Action Movie Guys podcast, episode 259. We are hitting, I think, the fourth one of the Sean Connery films, Thunderball from 1965. I'm your host, Alex Figueroa. My co-host is
Nate from Netflix Reviews.
All right, Nate, I'm not even going to ask you. I'm going to shoot right into it. What did you think of the theme song, Thunderball, sung by Tom Jones?
Okay, so, yeah, opening credits this time around. Pretty good. Liked them. The song was awesome. You know, when you text me and you're like, it was Tom Jones, I was like, the only song I know of Tom Jones is that one song from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. That's the only song I know that he sings. Okay? He was a good choice back in the 60s for this. I liked it. I thought the song was really good. I liked the opening credits. They were cool. It was like all like underwater and stuff like that. But I think, and then, you know, once you watch the movie, you're like, okay, I see why they did so much with like water and stuff like that. I loved it. I give it a 5. I thought this one was good. I love the song. I don't remember all the words or anything like that, but his voice was like real powerful and big. He had that big voice. I feel like the best Bond songs is usually someone with a big sounding voice. And I think it fit right in. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, Tom Jones has that booming voice, right? He's like, Thunderball! Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I don't even know the lyrics myself, but I always remember when he says Thunderball, it's like mad loud and booming. And you're right. He fits that world of Bond. I mean, think about the artists from each of them, right? We're not going to break them all down or nothing, but if you really think about it, Matt Quick, right? Yeah. You had Adele Skyfall, mad booming, beautiful voice, right? Then you had Chris Cornell with
Big
Man with
voice.
No Name. Yeah. Right? Awesome, booming voice. Then if you look at Pierce Brosnan era, you had Tina Turner, Goldeneye, right? You had Garbage for I think she was The World Is Not Enough, the girl from Garbage. She was good. Then you got Sheryl Crow, which was Tomorrow Never Dies. Then you go, wow, the Madonna, Die Another Day. Yeah. Then you go Roger Moore. So it's so much, it's so much iconic voices. And I always thought Celine Dion should have did it. Oh, she had a great voice for it. But
she would have been good. Now. But they got Adele, who's kind of like the modern day big, powerful voice. So
or Amy Winehouse, I always thought.
She would have nailed it.
She had that voice.
She would have nailed it.
Yeah, she did. But anyway, Tom Jones nailed it. I agree. 5 out of 5. The women is all in the water. They're shooting the spears. Yeah. And I was like, okay. I was like, that's not bad. I thought that was pretty cool. So anyway, intros, 5 out of 5. Yeah. Booming voice, Tom Jones. Now, let's get to the critics and the audience on this. Yeah. Is this still a high mark for my man Connery?
Well, it's still good. It's still good.
Okay.
But we've come down a notch. We've come down a notch. We were in the 90s in the first 3, all of them. So this one has come down a notch, both audience and critics. And those movies were always like a little bit apart, and then these are still a little bit apart. 85%. So not bad.
No, that's not a drop at all.
Yeah. It's like if you're going on some stairs, it's 1 step down. It's not like 7 steps down. You know what I mean? Yeah. Audience score 73, which is also similar because the other ones were in like the 80s. So, 1 step down. It's still in 85. Which is better than most action movies we review on here.
You're absolutely right. I think it's very shocking, dude. We're 4 movies in, right? Because you got Dr. No, From Russia with Love, Goldfinger, and now Thunderball, right? Yeah. Now the next one is You Only Live Twice, I believe is the next one, right? That's his last one until... Because George LeBiz comes right in between, which is 1969. Then Diamonds Are Forever, which they brought back Sean Connery for his final role as Bond. But technically, it was supposed to be You Only Live Twice. But that is so it's pretty interesting. 4 films in, but we got to see how is Sean Connery's acting and everything as portrayal in this movie. Does the script does him justice? Well, we're gonna tell you guys if the script does my man justice in Thunderball. Yeah. So with that said, lead character Sean Connery for the 4th time. Neat.
I'm gonna let y'all know now. This is about to be a weird review because I had weird feelings about this movie when I was watching it. I'll just put it that way. Connery, still great. I mean, he's not, if there's things I have issues with in this movie, which there is, it ain't him. He's once again great. He still has that, he's Daniel Craig's the first like Bond. No, the first Bond I ever saw was Brosnan. But Daniel Craig was the first one that I watched like all the movies. Brosnan, I don't think I saw.
You didn't see World's Not Enough.
No, I saw
Tomorrow
World's Not
Never
Enough.
Dies.
Tomorrow Never Dies. I didn't watch till we did it, and I never finished that last one because I hated it. I had
Die
only
Another
seen
Day.
GoldenEye and The World's Not Enough. So, but seeing this, like, I think Connery's great every time. He's charming. He's got the action. Well, the style of action that they do. He's good. He's good with the ladies. This one, he's really hanging out with the ladies in this one. He's really hanging out with the ladies. And we got another one coming up where he's really, really hanging out with the ladies. He's really hanging out with the ladies. It's good. I gave him a 5. To me, there was nothing in this movie as far as the character goes for me to be like, it's time to take the point. I've been waiting. I've been watching these movies like at some point, something's going to happen with the character and I'm going to minus it. But I haven't been able to find it yet. His interaction with M, the same. His interactions with Moneypenny, good. You know what I mean? Like his interactions with the villains in his movies, the way he does it, still good. Still a 5 for me. We'll see where it goes from here, the review. But for him, I still think he was great.
Yeah, I mean, when it comes to this movie, I'm gonna be with you. I'm gonna be up and down without the other categories because, again, when we do our categories and stuff, that's where everything changes. Like, I mean, it's a weird thing, but when it comes to Sean Connery, I agree. I stuck with the 5. I couldn't find anything that diminished James Bond. He's older. You can see he's older. But he's still badass, and he's still suave, and he's still good. He has my man Q. Him and Q has good relationship. Him and my man M. Him and M had one of the coolest chemistries so far out of the 4 films, and it still continued. So the hardest thing for me this week in terms of reviewing is that we did back-to-back Bonds, and it was 2 different Bonds. It's not like it was Sean Connery. It was Sean Connery and then George Lisenby, right?
Lazenby.
Something like that. Yeah, Lisenby. So it was hard. I was like, damn it. So
it kind of helps, though. It kind of helps know which one,
was better.
Comparing them side by side, it makes it interesting as far as the Bonds.
It does. It really does. But yeah, Sean Connery in this one did a great job. I didn't see nothing wrong with it. I thought he was good in the fighting. Which is funny. He's older, and the fighting for me, he did a better job in the fighting sequences in this film than the other one. So anyway, 5 across the board. Okay, main villain. Okay, in this one is the dude with the eye patch.
With the eye patch guy.
Yeah,
his name was Emilio Largo.
From Spectre, the Spectre agent.
And there was also the lady, too. Fiona Volpe.
Well, we could go with Emilio because he was mostly in the movie.
Yeah, they're both Spectre, though, is what I mean. I gave him a 2. He's just a chubby guy who has, he's rich. He has a pool of sharks. He has all the, what do you call it? The
accessories?
Accessories, of a villain.
Yeah.
He's got the cool house, the lady. He's got the shark pool. Who has that? Nobody. But he got one. He got the pool that has a thing that goes over it so you can let the sharks in and eat people. He's got a submarine. He's got all the toys. But this man has no charisma. He has no character. And you're coming off Goldfinger, who was great. Goldfinger was great. And I think that also hurts. Like, you're coming off of one of the better villains, especially in these first few, and he's just kind of there. He just looks like someone's grandpa, you know what I mean? Like, he got an eye patch. They gave him an eye patch to try to make him maybe more menacing, but he's not menacing. He does get involved in the action, at the end, the underwater action and stuff. But I didn't like him. I didn't like him. I had to look up his name because already he's very unmemorable. A two. I didn't really care for him.
Yeah, when it comes to the villain, I was leaning towards the 2 and the 3. And I went with the 3. I said, he was a good villain. He wasn't great. He wasn't perfect. And the reason why I went with the 3 was because he did everything you wanted in a villain, right? He fought Bond at the end in the boat, right? They went toe-to-toe, if you want to call that a fight. But it was a fight, right?
Right.
It was a fight nonetheless. In the 60s, it was a fight.
Yeah.
So he fought Bond. He went underwater with his minions, right?
Yeah.
He did. He got a little into the water fight of spears, right? So you're going, oh, okay,
yeah.
Right? He killed people. He said, you double-crossed me. He killed people. And I said, okay, my man with the eye patch number 2 from Austin Powers is getting down here, right? Because that's what they modeled him after, this guy. So I thought, and then he was like the right-hand man supposedly to Blofeld, the big kingpin of Spectre, right? I didn't mind him. I was like, you know what? He was good. But I kind of agree with you in certain things that he was a goofy villain for this one. I mean, Goldfinger so far is the best all around. I mean, he didn't fight Bond but he was an all-around mastermind.
He shot a lot of people.
Yeah, he just shot up people. Yeah,
he did fight Bond, but
gun.
he lost so fast they got sucked out that airplane window.
Oh, that's true. He did fight in the plane. That's
just
right.
Lost really bad.
Yeah, really bad. So I agree, but I went with the good. I thought I went with the good. And then they had the scene in the casino when they were playing, and I was just like, okay, that's badass. When they were talking trash to each other and they raised the stakes, and I was like, okay, now that's someone poking the villain. Yeah. Bond was poking him all day, and he was just with the one eye patch. You just still chilling there, like
they're always playing games in these movies though that I don't know what these games are.
It's Baccarat. Baccarat.
I don't know that game. So like at least in Casino Royale they're playing poker. So like I could follow. I'm like, oh, he got a good hand. He doesn't. This game they're just like they take the cards. They're like 4, 6. Okay, well, I don't know what that means. And they have that little pizza paddle that picks up the cards. And
so the way it goes is I had to look it up because I was like, I was with you. I was like, yo, how the hell is this game play?
What is it?
So if you got kings, right? The kings are like zeros.
Okay.
So like it pretty much is I think it's who gets the higher card or the lower card. So if you did 9 and I had like a 10 and an 8, it'll be an 8 on the table.
Okay.
And then they'll say card, right? When they wanted an extra card to see if it'll go over.
Like blackjack.
Like a blackjack, yeah. To see who got, I guess, is the higher card or the lower card. That's all it is, pretty much. I agree with you with... I do agree with you with the Casino Royale because with poker, it's more of a high-stakes game. Yeah. Whereas Baccarat, too, because these dudes are playing with millions of dollars. I mean,
they're betting a lot on this weirdo game, but
but the one, Bond was up to like 300 million on the table, and then the pressure is bigger because it's like bluffing and everything. That one is not. It's just pretty much card, and then you flip it, and it's like Mr. Bond wins again. Yeah, and it's like, oh, okay.
I also think that game is either not played or not popular anymore. Honestly, because I've been to a lot of casinos, and I've never seen the Baccarat table. I've seen all the other ones, craps and roulette and poker and. I don't know. Maybe it's European. Maybe they just play in Europe.
It could be that, or it's because it's a high rollers game that starts at 10,000. Because they're not going to put a 10,000 game in the middle of a floor.
Even in the high rollers room, I've never seen the Baccarat table. But I don't know. I'm going to look. I'm going to check next time I go.
No, check. You never know.
I'm not going to play
you're going to see the pizza stick.
The guy with the pizza, the oven pizza, wooden, and then he takes the cards. Yeah. It's hilarious.
But anyway, let's go backward. But okay. But yeah, it's a 3 for me. You gave it a 2. Action scenes.
Okay. I had
be honest.
I had one score. I had one score in my mind the whole movie until the end, and then it changed to a different score. Now, I don't know where you're going to go with this, but I'm watching from Nate's perspective. Mm-hmm. And this movie has at the very end you had a cool shot, like a cool scene where there's like a giant Navy boat, almost like a military boat, like shooting cannons at this other speedboat that is like that has a green screen window that makes it look like it's going 2,000 miles an hour. But then when they show it on the outside, it's going like regular boat speed. It's shooting. And then these guys come out with machine guns and they're... That was awesome. That was awesome. So I gave it 1 extra point for that part because I gave the action a 2 in total. And I was at a 1. And I'm going to tell you why. I absolutely hate. And this goes for almost all movies. I can name 1 or 2 exceptions. I hate underwater action. I do not like it. I've never liked it. It's so slow. That doesn't make sense. If you ever punch somebody underwater, it doesn't hurt because the water stops your force. And this man is literally, James Bond literally chops a guy in the arm and he drops the knife as if they were standing on land. That might work. And underwater, the chop that would feel like nothing. The guy drops the knife. I'm like, oh my God. And then another guy comes swimming out. He grabs him by the arm. He does like a freaking flips him over. I'm like, oh Lord, this would not happen in water. It was so annoying. I like the spear guns. Those are cool. But I'm not a fan. I really, really hate underwater action scenes. Are like, we're going to escape on this little underwater submarine. The guy gets on it and it's like so slow. Everything is slow. And then there's no music. So all you hear is you don't even hear any sound effects. I do not like it. And this movie has a ton of underwater, thus the water at the beginning. And I had no idea that Thunderball was an underwater movie. So I hate it. Granted, I hate it in most movies. I think Aquaman, I like that because it defies physics and they're going fast and there's lasers and stuff. Other than that, I can't name many. I hated it in G.I. Joe. Remember in the first G.I. Joe, there's like underwater submarine. I'm like, oh my God, I absolutely hate, unless it's Russian submarines and it's suspenseful. I don't like it. So I gave it a 2 for me. I think you're going to give a better score in the sense of maybe audiences will relate more. But if you are like me, if you're listening to this and you hate underwater action, this movie is a ton of underwater action. And I don't really like that. So for me, it's a 2.
Yeah. Okay. So when it comes to this movie, I do have a lot of problems with Thunderball. When it comes to action, and it's not being picky. I'm not trying to be picky at all because I know the technology was not there in the 60s.
Yeah.
My problem is the green screens are so bad.
Oh, yeah.
And it's very noticeable. Very noticeable. And again, I'm trying to stay out of that whole, like, we live in 2023, everything is realistic, and blah, 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 blah. But it's super hard for a movie like this. It is very, 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 very hard. And with Sean Connery, even when he puts on the jetpack in the beginning of the movie and flies up, it's one of the worst
He like
scenes.
stands up in front of a picture of the sky. I'm like, oh
yeah,
God,
it is one of the worst scenes. And I was like, holy hell. I was like, I know what I was getting myself into because I know Thunderball, and my wife swam in the Thunderball Reef where they filmed the movie in the Bahamas. Yeah. So I was just like, okay, I know what we're getting into. Nate, you're not the only one. I hate underwater fighting.
Oh, dang.
Like,
okay, well.
submarines are cool. Like when the car, like in one of the Roger Moore movies, when the car turned into a submarine, I didn't mind it because I was like, all right, he had missiles and all that shit, and I was like, that is cool. When you had a whole group of them fighting and shooting, I did not know who was who because again, towards the end, they all had orange was the good guys, and then the bad guys were in blue. But it was just so chaotic underwater. It did not work for me underwater. I agree with you. So I deducted points there. The driving with Sean Connery, I didn't like it because it was green screen that looked really bad. And Goldfinger had some good driving scenes that looked pretty good, and it was green screen. And I was like, okay, he is in a green screen, but he didn't make it look obvious. He looked suave in it. This one looked kind of obvious. Yeah. Like he's doing this, and the car's going that way. And I was just, like, oh, Lord. So, but they had some positives. There was some good parts in it. Like Sean Connery was really good hand to hand. When he fought everybody hand to hand, I was like, he really did a good job fighting these guys. Some parts they showed that it wasn't him, but it was okay. It is what it is. I gave it a 3. I thought it was good enough for this type of movie. I was just like, you know what? I looked at it because I was going to go with a 2. But then I looked at all in the entire picture from ocean to land. I was just like, okay, it's a Bond movie. So I was like, I gave it a 3. I was like, I can't go higher than 3. So I was like, it was good enough for this type of ocean movie.
I will say this to your point. I would agree. And I think if you don't have that problem of like maybe people, there are probably people who love underwater stuff. And in that case, it's actually really well done. You know, like as far as having to direct that many actors underwater to do fighting and shooting, and it looks good for what it is. I just hate underwater action. So
remember when he was underwater and he saw Bond there? He went,
yeah. Do you also remember that they used the same shot 4 times of Sean Connery looking left like this, and then doing something? It was the same shot every time. I counted it 4 times. He's just like this, and then they cut long, and then he's swimming somewhere, and I'm like, oh, bro, they're just recycling the same shot.
We have someone in our Patreon. Robert gave it a 5.
I don't know what he's talking about. And I don't think he's watched it recently. There's no way that this is a 5 out of 5 action unless you just love slow motion punching and soft underwater kicks and punches. That wouldn't hurt. That wouldn't hurt anybody.
No, I mean, I agree. And then, of course, Jay Manley gave it a 3.
He agrees.
Yeah, he gave it with me. So, again, overall, I think the action fit the movie. But again, I think because of the lack of technology, I guess you got to say, kind of hindered it.
Except the end by those machine guns and freaking bombs and rockets. That was pretty good.
My only gripe with the end, bro, is when they're fighting in the cockpit and the boat is going 100,000 miles per hour.
I'm leaving that part out because it made me laugh. I was just laughing the whole time. That and when they in the safety raft and the plane yoinks them out. That's the plane's just gonna hold on to her like flying through the sky. Whatever. But the boat part made me laugh so much.
All right, storyline.
All right, it's not. The storyline's pretty good. It's not as good as the last two, I think. I will give it credit. It's easy to follow, unlike the first one, which was still like just, I still don't know what was going on. This one is pretty simple. You have this, the Spectre organization. They are stealing some nuclear missiles so that they can hold the governments hostage, pretty much. NATO and all this stuff. You know, like all the governments. We're going to blow up the earth if all the governments don't give us. It was like $180 million or whatever it was. So easy plot. That's it. Now, here's where I will deduct a little bit. The path to get to that was unnecessarily confusing in the sense of you get the beginning part with Bond. You're walking around, you got the guy with all the bandages on his head. And like, they took like a really long time to explain that they have like a double that's replacing the pilot. And then even with that, like that storyline goes nowhere. He does it. He holds them up. He's like, I want more money. And then as soon as the plane crashes in the water with the underwater lights, which also made me laugh, they're like, light up the underwater runway. Okay,
and sure. They still had a rough landing.
And they could see it from the sky. Okay. So then it lands and then they just kill him down there. And that's it. And it's like, man, we spent a good 15 minutes at the beginning of the movie setting that all up for not a good payoff. So the one issue I have with this movie, that being said, it ties into it. The pacing of the story, the way it plays out, is too slow. It's way too slow. It's not as slow as another one we're going to talk about, but it's this one's 2 hours and 10 minutes. And I think it could have been an hour and 45 and it would have been better. I would have gave it a higher score. I gave it a 3. I think it's good, but again, I didn't love the villain. I did think the plan was pretty easy to follow. Also, I didn't love the pacing of it, like the way everything happened. It just felt like there was a lot of stuff they could have cut and they just left it in anyway. So honestly, with a trim, a 4. I would have gave this a 4, but it's like some of this stuff just unnecessary. So a 3 for me.
I agree with you. I gave it a 3. I thought it was a good, solid movie. Very generic storyline. Oh my God, they stole 2 nuclear warheads. We're going to hold you ransom for $2 billion. And I was just like, oh my God. And it's like, we're going to get 007 in there. I was just like, I agree with you. There were some parts that were kind of slow. I was just like, But when Bond was antagonizing the Emilio's character, I was like, okay, that's like when Bond is doing his stuff on screen, I was like, all right. When he forcefully kissed the girl, and I was just like, Jesus, I was like, this dude is just forcefully like kissing her, and I was just like, all right, it is what it is. I mean, it had everything, right? You had Q gets his gadgets, which he used them, which is actually pretty cool. The rocket launcher in the beginning, I mean, the whatever you want to call it, his escape route, which was so bad.
I like the car that shoots water out the
and it was funny, right? Because they changed it.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be an oil slick. And then it shot water cannons. And I was like, what? So, and it was funny because it was like next to a fire hydrant. So it looked like they connected it to the fire hydrant and turned it on.
Yeah, because there was a lot of water. Like, how you got that much water in that car? Where is it stored?
That's a big ass tank in that whole ass Aston Martin. So like in terms of the storyline is a very basic spy movie. Like 101 on how to put it together. Like it was nothing like Goldfinger. It was nothing like Russia with Love. Maybe Dr. No, but Dr. No, you really did not know what you were watching until 40 minutes in to the movie.
Confusing. This was better.
Yeah, way too confusing. But this one, you kind of knew what was happening. Easy to follow, but it was just too simple for me. So like I gave it a simple 3. I thought it was a good movie in a nutshell. Other than that, overall.
So overall, with all those issues aside, there's pros and cons here. One, the pacing is a con. The storylines, it's fine. It's not bad. But like you said, very, very basic. Austin Powers. This is like an Austin Powers storyline. Yeah. We're going to build a laser and blow up the earth unless you give us some $1 million or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, it's that. But it works. I agree with you on the green screen stuff. It is a little distracting. And I think even watching these movies in the higher quality makes it more distracting because then you can really see it super clear. So that doesn't do it any favors. I won't hold it against it. I'm not going to minus a point for it, but I will say it is distracting to watch at times, the green screen. Connery's good. This movie got 2 secret weapons in it, though. My girl Domino and that Fiona Volpe lady, because them ladies were fine. This one got... this movie... Listen, I always try to avoid not sounding like, but this movie got the best Nate ladies in this. I mean, I love both of them, and one of them's bad, but I still liked her. I was like, I would have got killed, too. She would have got me. She would have tricked me. And then Domino, oh my goodness gracious.
Oh, Domino's
gorgeous.
gorgeous.
Both of them, amazing, gorgeous. Bond. I gotta say, none of these movies have had any ugly women. But these two have two especially gorgeous women in it. So that helps. That helps the runtime. Like one of them is pretty much always around. Also, it's in the Bahamas, so it looks great. It's tropical. You had mentioned that before. You know, I do love a good tropical setting. So that was cool. But on the whole, I think the storyline and the lack of cool action, it keeps it at a certain level for me. So I gave it a 3. I think it's good. I didn't hate it. I do like it. I would watch it again, knowing, you know, going in. It has a great theme song, has a good score. So, but it's just good. I feel like it's kind of baseline, good Bond, not exceptional, but definitely not bad.
I agree. I gave it a 3 too. I think it's a solid sequel. It feels more like a 2 sequel than a 4. Like, you know what I mean? Like a sequel after a first movie.
Yeah.
This is what this feels like. I enjoyed it for what it was. I love underwater movies. Not fights, but I like when they show underwater stuff, like with the cameras and stuff. And it's all practical. It's not like they were really in the Bahamas shooting this damn thing. And then you could tell when they were in tanks in the other. So, like, I liked it. You're right. The two main chicks were gorgeous. Bond was really good. Q was good. M was really funny in this one again. Yep. He always messes with 007. I thought it was pretty good. And there was one scene, I think it's in this one, when they're in the office and Bond has the photo and he goes, boss or whatever. He goes, M, he goes, I would like to take my job to the Bahamas. And he goes, why? He goes, I seen that guy dead. And the guy goes, impossible, 007. That guy was flying the plane. He goes, if 007 said he's dead,
oh yeah,
then
that
I
was
believe
this
he's
movie.
dead.
Yeah, that was with the double. Yeah,
that was very funny. If 007 says he's dead, then I believe him.
It had that part because it had that part earlier where they are meeting in that big room and he walks in late. Like, now that we're all here, we can. It had some good humor. This movie was kind of funny, which I liked.
It was.
Yeah.
So, and then Phoenix Lighter was actually really funny in this too.
Yeah, who was that guy though? Did it change the actor every time?
Him. Yeah, they changed him. Yeah. So
times.
He's not the original, but he was actually really funny in this one. Other than that, yeah, it's a solid 007. You're right. The score was amazing still. We got 4 movies in. And it's so 60s, and I loved it.
Yeah.
It felt, and I always like it because it's like, it's all generational pieces. And that's why I'm collecting them in the vinyls format, because I like listening to all of them because you can hear like where they came from, like time period. It's like a time capsule of movie history, and I liked it. I thought this worked very well. So I give it 3 total points.
Total points for me comes out to a 15 out of 25. Which is kind of just like an average of 3 across the board. You know, like, I thought it was solid. It was entertaining. It was good. I still hate... I agree with one thing you just said. I like underwater movies. I don't like underwater action. Just action. I don't... Unless it's in boats or things that... Like, fighting underwater, it doesn't make sense to me. I don't know. Like, if I punch you in the face, you're not going to get knocked out underwater. That's just not going to happen.
Or Little Mermaid.
Stuff like that. It's just too much. Well, that looks so fake. But anyway, this at least was real. This was like real people. You know what I mean? So I don't love underwater action. But yeah, I like this movie. I thought it was fun. My favorite part, though, I forgot, that made me laugh the most. And this was a weird editing choice more than anything. But there's a scene. This is so short. But I feel like I wanted to look it up on YouTube and then send it to you guys because it's so funny. He comes up in the car. He's with that guy. Remember, there's those black guys that they're like working with on the island? And they're in the car. And he pulls up to park. And then Bond's getting out. And he tells the guy, he's like, tell Felix, Lauren or whatever her name is dead. And the guy just goes, okay. And then the scene cuts.
Yeah, and it goes to the next scene. Yeah,
I laughed. So, I was like, I thought there was gonna be more to that. He just goes, okay, and then and like he's unfazed by it. He doesn't care that she died. He doesn't know who she was. He just says, okay, and then the scene is over. And I laughed so hard. So just for that alone, it's worth watching. 15 for me.
Yeah, I gave it a 17 out of a 25. I think it's a good movie. I think that's like more of in your world, a 3.5 out of 10 or whatever it is.
3.5 out of 5. It would be like a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, whatever it is. But I liked it. I thought it was a good, solid sequel. I thought it was pretty good. And you're right. Whenever these things come out in 4K physical, it's not gonna look good. but just
certain parts.
it's gonna look really bad, and,
Yeah.
and I just enjoy them for what they are. Pretty much, it's a time capsule of film history, man. Like really, that's pretty much what you're watching. But anyway, other than that, Nate, what is coming up next?
So next, we're going to have another Bond movie. This is the first time we're ever doing 2 movies in a franchise in the middle of a month sort of thing. But we had to get this one. It's the only one that's like a standalone, because we've been grouping them by actor, and this guy only played him once. So I said, we're doing Spy Month. Let's just get this over with. So a movie, another one I've never seen, George Lazenby's On Her Majesty's Secret Service. That will be the next episode. And then our next Connery Bond film, the 5th out of 6th, will be You Only Live Twice, I think is the next one. You Only Live Twice. So that'll be the first episode for next week.
You Only Live Twice. Yeah, that's it. Yep. All right, guys. You guys want to follow us in our social media accounts? Please follow Nate over on Instagram at Netflix Reviews. Check out the podcast with him and his friends called Netflix Movie Reviews. Anything Action Movie Guys, head over to Instagram at Action Movie Guys Podcast. Or if you want to check out the video version of the podcast, head over to youtube.com/Geeks and Flicks for the video version. Other than that, I'm your host, Alex Figueroa, and that is
Nate from Netflix Reviews.
be listening to each other and geek out.